I touched on the problems previously in my other slide, but I just wanted to go in depth in like some other problems that happen in these urban communities. And they are poverty, like I said before, which would be people not having places to cohabitate, homelessness, which is a big problem, discrimination. When you get out of jail, it's very hard for you to find a job, for people to trust you because they have that negative connotation of, oh my gosh, you've been in jail. That means you're a criminal. Can I trust you? What did you go to jail for? And that's a really big thing to overcome as somebody trying to better their life. So a lot of times it is hard for them because they are being discriminated against job employment, cars, friendships, different things like that. There are different housing issues, not sufficient housing for this population. There's conflict over power, people not understanding the way things work, a power issue. There's insufficient resources for schools, which is a huge thing because truancy. Truancy is a big thing when you think of things like that. Like children, they're not feeling educated. They're not feeling that what's the point of going to school if I'm not provided the resources to really help myself. That's one way to look at it. A lot of times children get bored. So if they feel like they're just going to school, there's no textbooks aren't up to date, or they don't have supplies, they don't have pencils, they don't have pens, things like that. Computers aren't working. It's just like, why should I come to school? That leads to truancy. They're at home. They're not doing things that they should be doing. That's a huge problem. And also these stressors that are caused from these problems that put a lot of demand physically on their body and mentally that hurt them. So in these urban communities, we're saying it's harder for these juveniles to come back home with the mindset that they're going to do better. They're taught to do better so you don't go back in, so you're not getting sent back to jail to do these negative things, but you're coming back home to this population that you're used to that's not going to be able to help you. It's hard to find a job. You're coming back to the community that possibly taught you how to do these criminal behaviors. And it's really like, what should you do next? So even when I was conducting research on this, I saw that um, that they do inform social workers that work in urban communities that they have to be culturally sensitive because they have to know that a lot of times the way people that come from urban communities, they are the way they are because of their surroundings. And I thought that was huge to point out because that's showing that your surrounding has such an impact on you. That's showing that your community has such an impact, and that is what this paper about, how your community has so much of an impact on you and how you are, your rearing process, how you grow up, how you interact with people, your actions you make, your decisions you make, your everyday walk of life. And not everyone thinks about that, and that's really important.